Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Christina McNeil, and this is NB12 for Wednesday, October 10th, 2012, broadcasting from the Cable 12 studios on Robinson Road. In news tonight, police investigating 2 murders over the past 24 hours. Parliamentarians pay their respects to the late Bruce Brennan. Plans for National Heroes Day announced. One woman's fight against breast cancer, and the latest on the restoration of Pompeii Museum in downtown Nassau. We have those stories and much more coming up tonight. Your NB12 starts right now. Joining us. A 21-year-old woman is this country's latest murder victim. Police say she was stabbed to death at her apartment complex on South Beach Drive. A 40-year-old man led officers to the victim's home this afternoon. He is now in police custody. Vonique Toot picks up the story from there.
Residents of South Beach Drive off East Street South are in shock after a woman was murdered inside her home. Police say it happened sometime between last night and this morning. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Rose, says police received a call at around 11:30 this morning from a Market Street resident who claimed a man wanted to report an incident. When officers visited the home, Rose says the man informed them that he was involved in an incident and believed that his female companion may have been stabbed. The man then led officers to this green and white building. Rose says police removed the door and found the body of a 21-year-old woman. She had stab wounds to the chest. Officers then took the 40-year-old man into custody. The woman's relatives visited the murder scene shortly after homicide detectives left. However, they declined an interview. Neighbors identified the victim as Antonique Hunt. Alfred Curtis, who lives next door, and Teresa Hopkins, who lives in Hunt's apartment complex, say they were at home at the time but never heard a commotion.
I didn't know what happened. Only thing I know when I see a car back up in front there, because they used to buy the white car and the taxi in the front there. I never know what happened.
I didn't hear anything, no. I wish I did. I probably could have called the police.
Hunt's landlord told NB12 she moved into the complex about 4 months ago. Meantime, Curtis says he sensed something was wrong but never said anything.
It hurt me. It hurt me. But I know something wasn't right there. But and I get to talk about and talk to nobody.
Hopkins says she last saw Hunt Tuesday morning. She says she barely knew her neighbor, but she seemed like a nice person.
It wasn't a good feeling at all. I felt so bad. I felt like I wanted to vomit, because I just saw her yesterday morning, and she had a nice, pretty green shirt. Her hair let down. She was so pretty yesterday, and she said, she gave me a big hail, and I hailed her back. I said, "How you doing?" She said, "She okay." And that was the last I saw her. It's always just hi and hello. Always a pleasant person, no problems. You don't hear her or anything inside. I don't hear anything from her.
This latest incident brings the murder count for the year to 92. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
While police are still looking into the circumstances surrounding a late-night shooting that left a 31-year-old man dead and another in critical condition Tuesday. According to police, the shooting took place around 10:45 last night at Miami Street off Cordo Avenue. Both men were taken to hospital where the 31-year-old of Key West Street succumbed to his injuries. Police are asking anyone with information into this incident to contact the Central Detective Unit at 502-9910, 502-9991, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. And just 5 days before the North Abaco by-election, President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Reverend Ranford Patterson, is calling on members of the Progressive Liberal Party and Free National Movement to stop the mudslinging. His comments came after PLP candidate Renardo Curry's stepmother alleged that his father was victimized by the PLP, and after Labor Minister Shane Gibson was criticized for releasing the national insurance records of F&M candidate Greg Gomez. Reverend Patterson told reporters during a news conference today that politics in the Bahamas is sinking to a new low.
The mudslinging that I'm hearing coming out of North Abaco, I just think is unnecessary. The fact that we are trying to destroy people's characters and the rest of it, I think is really unnecessary. We can have an election without doing that. I think we are sinking to a new low when it comes to our politics, and I hope to God that we would stop it.
The Christian Council president says North Abaco residents should not allow politics to ruin relationships.
Hearing about the fights and the nasty stuff that's being thrown across the political divide, we would just like to encourage those in North Abaco to recognize that after this by-election is over, that they have to still remain in North Abaco. And so it behooves all of them to understand that destroying one another's character is not going to help to build North Abaco. We need North Abaco to remain intact, and so we're asking the politicians as well as those who are on the ground to please do their best not to cause unnecessary hardship, unnecessary pain as it relates to our people in North Abaco. And we're calling on the people of North Abaco to not allow anyone to cause them to break up relationships, family relationships, to the point where families are not speaking to each other.
In other news, more than half of Bahamians have no form of health insurance, according to recently published data from the latest census. The Department of Statistics last week revealed details of the latest census, noting that of the 351,461 people living in the Bahamas when the 2010 census was conducted, 163,029, or 46% of them, have some form of health insurance. Meanwhile, 2,955, or less than 1%, did not state whether or not they have insurance. That means that 185,477 people, or nearly 53%, have no health insurance at all. Mayaguana is the family island with the highest rate of people without health insurance. According to the report, nearly 80% of the 277 people living on that island do not have any form of insurance. Read more about this story in today's Nassau Guardian.